Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Ken's Show and Tell on this beautiful late April morning. It's in the upper 30s, I guess, and we're going to go spread some wood chips, and I've discovered a different way to do it as opposed to using my wooden wagon, my Ford tractor, and all by hand. So let's explore the difference. So we're getting to the 2021 Ranger, Polaris Ranger EV. Shut the door. Very nice having this nice snug cabin on this cold April morning. So let's go on down, turn on the ignition, so to speak, and she's ready to roll here. We'll just see. We got, I want you to see this is 100% power right there at the gauge. Also, I have my instrument here clicked over to the digital display on the odometer. The top number is a total miles driven in this EV since I installed this speed hut instrument, and the bottom number there is the trip meter, and I want to show you how far we will go today. So let's go on down to the auto house down there, and let me show you. My wife Diana got concerned and really tired of watching her husband shovel these wood chips all over our trails, and so she said, why don't you find an easier way to do it? We can afford it now. So I started researching, and I discovered this thing called a dump wagon. And this is a Sure-Trac. I got it from a local tractor dealership, and it hooks up to this Polaris EV really nice. It hooks up to the 53 Ford tractor, but I've just been using the Polaris for this, and I've just been learning how to use this piece of equipment. It's really different than doing it all by hand. One of the things that I've discovered is that in trying to dump wood chips, it doesn't behave. Wood chips don't behave like gravel. In other words, gravel will slide very nicely out of the bed, and you can drive forward and lay down a nice bed on the ground. But wood chips don't behave that way. They tend to stick together and clump, and especially when they contain moisture, which these do. So I've had to devise sort of a modified way to do it. So let's get us ready to go here. First thing I want to do is unhook the battery tender. This is a 12-volt deep cycle battery on this thing with a self-contained electric motor and pump. And there's a reservoir for the pump, and here's your hydraulic cylinder. And then you have a remote control to make the bed go up and down, and in your standard trailer hitch, and a little wheel there in order to support the tongue. The gross weight of this is 3,000 pounds, and this Polaris tends to pull this with a load of chips, no problem. In using this, I realized I need to build the bed up higher, or the side rails, and I will do that. I figured out how to do it without drilling holes into the steel, which I don't want to do. It's very heavy gauge steel. And over here is the current wood pile I'm working on, or wood chip pile I should say, from this logging tree removal operation. And you can see from here all the way out to here, this is what I've been working on, and that represents about 6 wagon loads, I guess. And then we'll get the John Deere out in a minute and come out here and load up this wagon, head on up and show you what I'm doing. It'll look a lot different than when I was using the wood wagon. going up to our first load. Starting off at 97% of battery. Turning around here, out the back. See your logging operation continuing. More piles of wood chips. Suspension system on these Polarises are really amazing. And I'm just using turf mode, which is rear wheel drive, and we got a maximum range, which is minimum power application. If you can see it, but we've gone about a half a mile so far. I'm gonna have to drop down to L, which is maximum power application, but it's all torque. It's all on the low end. I don't have to switch out of turf mode or single rear wheel drive getting up this hill here. This thing can really dig in. Let's just see. There we go. Come up this little path here. And of course I'm doing all this with one hand, which is nice. There's some of my wood right over here that I will split for next season, during next season. Some more. This Polaris is really a nice machine. I do like the fact that it's electric because it's so quiet. Now I've come up 7/10 of a mile. Have to remember the swing wide with this wagon attached. I haven't tried pulling this new wagon with the Ford yet. I am going to build the sides on it. Just haven't gotten around to do that yet. As you can tell, as I was loading, it does need higher sides. steep hill with some water bars, and we are going to go into low, which gives us maximum torque, and we're going to go into four-wheel drive where front and rear axles are locked. All right, let's go. Did it. Now we can stop, slow down, go back into the single rear wheel drive, and see, here's where I stopped, right here, and I have to figure out where I'm going to turn around now. And well, we're up here where I am laying wood chips, or using the wood chips to pave our trails. And here's the rig. That's the stuff we still have to do down there. Here's where we stopped. I stopped and then continuing on here. So all the way back there, disappearing back into the woods there, I would estimate that from here to where I started is probably 250, maybe 300 yards. And this is where we are. So that's how much we've done. Now, no matter how imperfect this dump wagon has turned out to be for me at this point, and I'm still learning how to use it, it's certainly quicker and less gruesome, if I can use that word, than hand shoveling on that wooden wagon. So let's see how we can do this here. So I have tried just lifting the gate up, taking it off the rear gate, and then getting that edge down and shoveling a little bit on the ground here, and then raising up the bed and letting it slide out. And what that results in is chips getting hung up in the bed and then just falling down in huge clumps that I have to come out and rake smooth anyway, and sometimes even use the shovel. So what I'm going to try this time is using the shovel and getting that edge cut off right there with the shovel right there along the top there, and shovel it out, throw it in here, which isn't very far at all. And then once I get that edge nibbled down, I'm going to try to raise the bed up a little bit, put a little incline on it, and then I can probably turn to the rake and just kind of start spreading that way, and then kind of moving forward a little bit, a few feet at a time. And let's give that a try. Try to loosen it up, let it fall down some, put some on my shovel. There we go. That's a nice one. Yeah. It is a mile up here. Actually, the trip odometer is reading 9/10 of a mile. It doesn't do hundredths, so I don't know what fraction of that 9/10 we are. Now I'm using the rake because I can just pull this thing down. Pull some more down. Now let's tilt this thing up some. Let's pull this out. Okay. Tilt it up some. That'll make it easier to pull out. I don't want it just to fall because it just creates a mess. So let's just let this thing drift forward some. So here's the angle that we have it at now, and then what I'm going to do is just let it roll forward till about where this shovel is, let the tail reach where the shovel is, and then I'll rake out a little bit more, spread it out, and just keep doing it. And let gravity be our friend here. Once you get started, this is a much easier way. Yeah. Because when I was dumping before, just leaving big clumps and piles, I have to go back and level it anyway. Okay, I just have to move forward again. This time, move the tailgate down to this little tree here. Oh yeah. We'll just come right here and fill this in. Let's pull something else down here. Just push this over here. Yep. Okay, we'll probably have to raise the bed up a little more, but I think you see the method. Yeah, okay. See, and with that amount of spreading, we've come that far. Very good. All right, up. I don't want to go too much. Something like that would be good, I think. Yeah, we'll give that a try. There you go. One load down. Drove 1 mile up, 1 mile back. That's what it's going to be. So it's 2 mile round trip. One loaded, one empty. And you see, we just kind of started here, and I'll walk up to where we started. Ouch. Right here. This is where we started with that load, about right here. And that's what we did. You know, with one load on this wagon, I think I'm doing as well in terms of volume and definitely spreading. Actually, maybe even better with this wagon than with the wooden one. And when I put the wooden slats on this one, it's going to make it even better. And then I'll be able to haul more. And, you know, if that thing's full of gravel, I'll have to use the 53 Ford, and not the Polaris. Of course, I wouldn't use the Polaris to haul gravel all the way up here, because that is a lot of weight. Well, let's head on back to the house, back for another load. Well, we're heading back now, obviously, after this first load, and we have 79% of our battery left, or batteries, I should say. And a strategy that I've discovered that works really well is try to pick a mostly downhill course, which it is, and keep it in turf mode, which we don't need anything more aggressive than that, and try to keep it in maximum range when we are applying power. But when we're going down hills, drop it, go between high and low, and high is medium regenerative braking applied, and low is maximum regenerative braking applied as we go down. So let's just see. And you can hear the wagon. It's much louder, of course, when it's empty. I see another vehicle coming. That is, we're going to go to the right. Let me shut the power off here to the Polaris. And that is Diana and her club car, and Gracie, our doggy. And here they come. Well, here, oh, there's Gracie. Yeah, she's behind the club car. Here she comes. Of course, as y'all know, Gracie's our 16-year-old mutt that we rescued 16 years ago. Oh, she's pulling over there for me. I'm going to go down that way. So let me go ahead. She wants me to go down that way, so let me just do that. Here we go. Hey, Gracie. Hey, Gracie dog. Yeah, I know that wagon's loud, isn't it? You want to say hello to everybody? Huh? Yeah. Oh, look, there she is. Beginning of the second dump, or second load, I should say. Let's see what we have going here. So the trailer's raised a little bit. I've already emptied a little out and got started here. So I think we need to raise it up just a little bit more. Well, there you go. And just keep doing it, laying it down, and it's good to go. Well, we're getting ready to head back the mile back to the house, and so we've been up here twice with 2 loads, and so we're heading back, and we have 63% of our battery left, but I'm not going to do any more because it's 5 o'clock. We're at 2,113 feet above sea level, and we are done for the day. I just wanted to demonstrate my dump trailer and my learning curve in terms of how to use it. Well, I'll get better and better, I'm sure. We certainly have made a lot of progress on this road or trail.